The students, in this video I am going to discuss about the sufficient condition for extrema. We have already developed about the necessary condition. What was the necessary condition? You have already seen that this was the necessary condition. This was the necessary condition. All the partial derivative will be 0. This is the necessary condition. First order partial derivative will be 0 at point x star. Then x star is an extreme point, maybe maxima, maybe minima. Now to exactly locate whether this is maxima or minima, we need sufficient condition. So this is the sufficient condition. So now here, to develop this sufficient condition, we need Hessian matrix and the concept of definiteness, which we have already developed. So at the extreme point, if the Hessian matrix is positive definite, then it is relative minimum. Fine. If negative definite, this Hessian matrix is negative definite, then it is a relative maxima. Neither positive nor negative definite, then it is a saddle point. So these are three important conclusion. अगर Hessian matrix आपका पॉजिटिव डेफिनिट है तो रिलेटिव मिनिमा होगी, नेगेटिव डेफिनिट है तो रिलेटिव मैक्सिमम होगा एक्सट्रीम पॉइंट, और नाइदर पॉजिटिव है नॉर नेगेटिव है देन सैडल पॉइंट. सो दिस इज द कंक्लूजन. फाइन. लेट्स सी हाउ टू डेवलप दिस कॉन्सेप्ट. So suppose x star, which is nothing but n-tuple x of the form x1 star, x2 star, xn star, be an extreme point at which the first order partial derivative of fx exists and equal to 0, because this point already satisfies the necessary condition, and according to necessary condition all the partial derivative of first order will be 0 at point x star. So del f by del x1 at x star is equals to del f by del x2 at x star is equals to del f by del xn at x star will be 0. So this is equation number 1. Now by the Taylor series, which we have already seen in the so according to the Taylor's theorem, f of x star plus h is equals to f of x star plus first order term. So this is the first order term, and since n variables are involved, so we will use the partial derivative. So h1 del f by del x1, where h1 is nothing but the step size in x1 direction, plus h2 del f by del x2. So h2 is nothing but the step size in x2 direction, and hn is del f by del xn at x star, where hn is nothing but the step size in nth direction. Fine. Plus second order term. So this is the second order term, but this is the remainder term. This is the remainder term, so that's why theta is involved here. So which this term we have already seen in the previous class. Here theta varies from 0 to 1. So this is the Taylor's theorem. Now here from 1 and 2, you will see that all the partial derivatives of order 1 will be 0. So that's why this term will be 0. So ultimately we are having f of x star plus h plus f of x. This term will be 0 plus second order term, that means remainder term. Fine. So this is the remainder term. Now we will take this in the left hand side. So this is equal to this. Now here you will see that what is this actually? What is hij? So if we replace this hij here, then this is hi, this term multiply by hj. So this is nothing but our quadratic form actually, where h is nothing but the second order partial derivative with respect to xi and xj. So h is basically, so we can rewrite this term as q at x star h transpose h, where h is nothing but n-tuple, where h is basically what? h1, h2, hn transpose this. Fine. And capital H is basically this matrix, del 2f by del x12, del 2f by del x1 del x2, del 2f by del xn del xn, and the last row is this. In short, this is this at point x star. So this is our quadratic form actually. This is our quadratic form. So now, so we have now the sign of this left hand side, basically the sign of the left hand side, this left hand side depends upon the sign of the right hand side, depends upon the sign of the quadratic form, which is qx star. So here, if left hand side is positive, if q is positive, and left hand side is negative if Q is negative. So that means at extreme point X star, if Q is positive, that means this term, then Hessian matrix H is positive definite, because whenever Q is positive, Q positive means positive definite. Q is negative means Hessian matrix H is negative definite. Fine? Fine? So Q is negative definite. So when this is positive, so Hessian matrix is positive definite, and ultimately this condition holds, so this condition holds when H is positive definite. Second condition holds when Q is negative means Hessian matrix is negative definite, so that's why this holds when H is negative definite. Now we will consider the first term here. Here H is a step size which may be positive or negative, because when we are moving from some point here, suppose this, when we are moving in this direction, the H is taken as positive. When we are moving from here to here, so we are taking H as negative value. So we are moving in this direction. Fine. So here is this. So here H may be step size, either we are moving in the right hand side or either we are moving in the left. Here this point is X star, and this will be X plus H if H is positive, and this will be X minus H if we are taking step size in this left hand side. हम यहाँ से लेफ्ट की तरफ जाएंगे तो ये पॉइंट x माइनस एच ही होगा आफ्टर डिस्टेंस h, दिस डिस्टेंस इज h. Fine. Similarly this distance is h here, so this point will be x star plus h, this is x star minus h. So this is taken here, x star plus h, x star minus h. Now this condition shows that this x star plus h पर जो function की value है, that is higher than this value, so this type of curve will be there. But if suppose h is negative in the left hand side, for example here, again this condition holds, so that's why again f at x star minus h will be positive, क्योंकि h तो दोनों साइड में हो सकता है, इधर भी या इधर भी, दोनों केस में ये वैल्यू बड़ी होनी चाहिए, so this value is higher. So we are having this type of curve. So you can see that in this case x star is basically a minimum point, so this is a relative minimum. In NLPP we are using relative minimum rather than minimum. Fine, because we may have more than one extremum or local minima or local maxima. Fine. Now we will take the second condition here. So here f of x star plus h is less than f of x star, that means this condition holds. f at x star plus h की जो वैल्यू है फंक्शन की वो कम होगी f at f of x star से. Similarly अगर h पॉजिटिव हुआ तो ये होगा, h नेगेटिव हुआ तो ये होगा, अगेन दिस कंडीशन होल्ड्स, सो दिस इज नथिंग बट द रिलेटिव मैक्सिमा. फाइन. सो and if h is neither positive nor negative definite, then x star is a saddle point. सैडल पॉइंट होगा, यानी इस टाइप का कुछ होगा, इस टाइप का कुछ होगा, इस टाइप का कुछ होगा यहाँ पर. दिस इज योर x स्टार, this will be x star plus h, this will be your x star minus h, and this will be the saddle point. Fine. So we are not having any clear picture. Now the example. Now example is this. Find the extreme points of the function f of x1 x2 where x1 cube plus 3x2 cube plus 3x2 square plus 3x2 whole square plus 24 and determine their nature also. तो पहले extreme point निकालने हैं, फिर उनकी nature. So first we will apply the necessary condition. So here we are having two variables, so partially differentiate f with respect to x1 and x2 and put it 0. So here del f by del x1 is 0, del f by del x2 is 0. This will give you two equations. Solve these two equations, we get these solutions. So we are getting these two equations. So from first equation either x1 is 0 or either x1 is minus 2. From second equation either x2 is 0 or either x2 is minus 2 by 3. So ultimately from these pairs we can construct these four pairs, four combination. When x1 is 0, x2 is 0, first pair. When x1 is 0 but x2 is minus 2 by 3, second point. When x1 is minus 2 and this is 0, third point. And when x1 is minus 2 and x2 is minus 2 by 3, fourth point. So these are four possible extreme points. Now we will find out their nature. So to find out the nature, we first construct the Hessian matrix. So this is the Hessian matrix of this function. Del 2f by del x1 2, del 2f by del x1 del x2, then del 2f by del x2 del x1, and then del 2f by del x2 whole square. So now differentiate this function. So we will get this. So basically what we will done, this is nothing but del f by del x1. So again differentiate this with respect to x1, so you will get 6x plus 6. Now differentiate this with respect to x2, so this will give you 0. And now the second equation is this, is basically del f by del x2. So differentiate this with respect to x1, this will give you 0. And again differentiate with respect to x2, so you will get this term. Fine. Now what is h1 or d1? This can be written as d1, first order minor. So this is the first order minor, which is 6x1 plus 6. Fine. Then h2. This is basically the determinant, not the magnitude. Fine. Now the h2. This is the determinant, not the magnitude. So second order minor. Fine. Now this is the determinant, not magnitude. Fine. Because this is the first order minor. First order minor. We are using minor method. First method we are applying. You may apply the second method also. So what are the extreme points? 4 possible points. So these are listed here. Now we will take one by one. At 0 0, what will be the sign of h1? This will be 0 plus 6, positive sign. What will be the sign of second minor? So here 6 and 6. So when you solve this, you will get plus 36. यहाँ 6 बचेगा 0 0 6. When you solve this determinant, you will get plus 36. This is positive, so ultimately positive definite. And when positive definite, so according to our conclusion here, which we have listed here, conclusion. What is the when h is positive definite, relative minima. So this is relative minima, and you can find out the value of the function by putting 0 0. So this is the 24. Now here is the second point. According to the second point, first find out the sign of first minor. Put x1 0 here, so this will be 6. Put x1 0, x2 is minus 2 by 3 in the second order minor, so we will get minus 36. So this is positive, this is negative, so indefinite. So saddle point, and the value is 76.9. Now third point is minus 2 and 0. x1 is minus 2 and x2 is 0. So h1 will give you minus 6, h2 will give you minus 36. So this is negative, this is negative. Again indefinite, saddle point. Fine. This is not negative definite, because for negative definite, when this is negative, this should be positive. Then we can say that this is negative definite. But here both are negative. That's why indefinite. Now here in the last case, x1 is minus 2, x2 is minus 2 by 3. So here is minus 6 plus 6. Now you can see that this is minus and this is positive. That's why this is negative definite. This is negative definite. And so this is relative maxima, and value is this. So this is all about the definiteness. So how to find out the extrema with the help of classical method? This is the way. Now note, from necessary condition we can find possible extreme points. From sufficient condition we can find relative maxima or minima or nature of the extreme points. Still we need a condition for global optima. Here we are using the term relative. We are not saying that this is global. So still there is a need to find out the condition for global optima. So we will develop this in the later on. Fine. So for today this is over. Thank you.